All right, everyone, welcome to the 187 District Court. These are the rules of the court. First of all, it is Wednesday. Let's not turn this Wednesday into a Monday. So everyone, put patience in your pocket, be patient. The other thing is there's a thing called no texting and driving. So there's definitely no Zooming and driving. So if you're driving, pull over to the side because I'm not going to take up your case while you're driving. The other thing, you are in a courtroom, whether you're at your house, whether you're at your office. So if you don't behave professionally, I will require that you appear in court. To all the inmates, do not use the chat box. Do not use the chat box to talk to your attorney. Do not use the chat box to pick up dates. This is not The Bachelor. This is not The Bachelorette. That's not allowed. And I'm being told that people are in the courtroom. The other thing, to all the attorneys, if there is a plea bargain agreement that you have reached with the state, no matter how small, you need to put it in the chat box to Ferguson coordinator. She's listed as the court coordinator. She will need to get paperwork to your attorney. To your client. If your client is on bond, we will need your client's email address. I'm going to open the breakout rooms. When I open up the breakout rooms, it will invite you to a breakout room. Do not, I repeat, do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call your name and assign you to the breakout room. To all the attorneys, the prosecutors have the ability to move throughout breakout rooms. So when I send you to a breakout room, a prosecutor will meet you there. If you leave your breakout room, the prosecutor will see that the room is empty and the prosecutor will move to the next room. So be patient. When you go to a breakout room, think of it as going to the doctor's office. When the nurse calls you back, you're not really seeing the doctor, you're getting your weight and blood pressure checked. So when you go to the breakout rooms, think of it that way. Now, to all the defendants or people who are accused, I'm going to call your attorney's name. I will not call your name. If you do not hear your attorney's name, it is because your attorney is probably Zooming in another courtroom. Trust me, you will have a chance to see your attorney today. To the attorneys, I'm going to call the name. That's the order in which you'll appear. If you see that your name is low on the list and you want to Zoom to another court, you can Zoom to another court. However, if you Zoom to another court and your name is called, you will be placed at the end of the list. All right, this is the order of the attorneys. Mick Aguilera, Paul Ballou, Jeffrey Martinez, Bridget Garza, Daniel Della Garza, Donna Wilson, Edward Garza, George Dumbert, Carissa Chakowski, Oscar Hernandez, Colin Hobbs. Is there anyone whose name I missed?
I didn't get called, Judge.
Okay, Will Brooks, anyone else? Okay, and it's my understanding that there's someone whose paperwork has been done. Who would that be? Daniel Della Garza, is that you with Mr. Plethka?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning. Is your client here on the screen, Mr. Plethka? Yeah. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1 to be sworn in by the clerks. Clerks, if you'll go to breakout room number 1, please.
Thank you, Judge.
And Daniel Della Garza, I just sent you to breakout room number 1. And let me find. Robert, how are you listed on the screen?
187th clerk, Robert.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right, Mick Aguilera, who do you have?
Good morning, Judge. I have the pleasure of Jose Lozano Alacon. It's an MTR.
How do you spell the last name, please?
AlaRcon.
And is it family violence or criminal trial division?
It's criminal trial division.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you.
A prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you.
Paul Ballou.
Yes, Judge, we're present.
Yes, who is your client?
My client is Angel Aranda, Aranda. And he's
And is
sitting
it-
beside me.
All right, is it criminal trial division or family violence?
I'm sorry, Judge, you cut out.
Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal Trial Division.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 3. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Jeffrey Martinez.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I had a Matthew Garcia.
Matthew Garcia. Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal trial.
I'll send you to breakout room number 4. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Bridget Garza.
Morning, I'm here for Dalton Scharnhorst. It's a family violence, and I was talking to Mr. Joe Ray Garcia on this case.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 5. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you.
Daniel Della Garza. Daniel Della Garza. He's in a breakout room, sorry. Donna Wilson.
Yes, Judge, I have James Freeman this morning. He's CTD. And I probably need to talk with Mr. Freeman first if he's available.
All right, just one moment. Is your client in custody or on bond?
He's in custody.
Mr. Freeman, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with your attorney. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6. So, Mr. Freeman, please go to breakout room number 6. And Donald, I'll send you to breakout room number 6.
Thanks, Judge.
Mr. Freeman, if you look at the bottom, he's able to make it in there. All right, Ed Garza.
Judge, good morning. I'm here on Victor Guerra. It's a sentencing, and I need a copy of the PSI, if I could, please.
All right, could you put your name, put your email address in the chat box and to CLO Reyes, and she will get that document to you.
Okay, thank you.
And is your client in custody or on bond?
No, he's on bond, and I instructed him to be in the courtroom.
Yes, he is in the courtroom. Just as soon as you're ready to meet with him, let me know, and I'll send you to breakout room number 7.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Let me see
You're
if I
welcome.
can get this done.
All righty. Everyone, just give me one moment, please. All right, the next person up is George Dunbar.
Excuse me. Good morning, Judge.
Yes, who do you
I
have?
have Ramsey Gonzalez. And he should be in the courtroom, Your Honor. This is a bond violation.
Yes, I think this is a violation. All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 8. A prosecutor will speak with you.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm sorry, before you go, is your client criminal trial division case or CTD? All right, to the prosecutors, George Dunbar is in breakout room number, he's back. George, is your client criminal trial division or family violence?
I believe it should be a family violence, Your Honor.
All right. So if you'll go back to breakout room number 8, please, a prosecutor will meet you there.
Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, may I address the court for a second?
Yes.
On Plebka. Okay, I've been conferring with Tom about, report dates and stuff like that, but I did not know that we were supposed to be present in court. So may we excuse ourselves from this?
Yes, you can excuse yourself. And how long will it take you to get to the courtroom?
I live in Bernie, so it'll take me about, like Fair Oaks, it'll take me like 45 minutes maybe.
All right, can I see you in a breakout room, please, Mr. Della Garza? If you go back to breakout room, let me send you to breakout room number 10, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
And just 1 second. Tom Nesbitt, could you go to breakout room number 10, please?
She and her daughter, I think, are gonna want to do it. That they'll do it tomorrow.
Everyone, just give me a moment.
Yes. Sure.
Ms. Reyes, can you hear me? This is Attorney Ed Garza.
Yes, sir.
Did I send you my email address correctly, or maybe I didn't?
I haven't received anything.
Okay, once I type it in, what do I hit to send it to you?
Enter.
Enter. Ugh, where's that at?
On your keyboard.
Oh, let's see. Okay.
I received it.
Okay. I don't use that chat very much. Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Garza, Daniel Della Garza, if you'll go back to breakout room number 1, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
And to the clerks, could you go to breakout room number 1, please? All right, Carissa Chalkowski.
Good morning. Sorry. Good morning again, Judge. My client Megan Tierney. It's like on the docket as a motion to transfer bond.
Yes.
It was just from a surety bond to surety bond.
All right, and
we filed
so
this.
this is my question.
Sorry.
Is your client on the Zoom?
She is, yes.
All right, Ms. Tierney, where are you? Megan Tierney.
Your Honor, I'm in my car.
All right, Ms. Tierney, I'm in receipt of a motion from your attorney, Carissa Chalkowski. She's asking, well, Brenda, let's go on record.
Okay.
And this is this is just a change of surety. Court is calling NIGHTMAG number 604-313, 604-318, State of Texas versus Megan Tierney. Could I have the parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Carissa Chalkowski for Ms. Tierney.
All right, everyone, just one moment. I'm sorry. Problem. Thank you. All right, we're back on the record. Just one moment. All right, and are you Ms. Tierney?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
All right, Ms. Tierney, the court is in receipt of a motion. And my understanding, Ms. Chalkowski, that this motion was previously signed by another judge. Is that correct?
It was Judge Meza back, I believe, on March 18th.
All right, well, just for, so that the record is clear, because I don't know if Judge Mesa had a hearing on this or not, but Ms. Tierney, do you have any objections to your bond being transferred to Ms. Chakowski?
No.
All right, then we'll close the record. Ms. Chakowski, what is your client's 2 charges?
She has one, it's a night mag, and it's an injury to a child, and the other one is assault public servant.
All right,
And both
so,
night
all right, so this is what I'm going to do on these cases since we're here. I'm going to send you to a breakout room so you'll know which prosecutor is working on this case. So state, this appears that this is probably a family violence case as well as a criminal trial division case. So I'll send you to breakout room number 9.
Okay, thank you. In the meantime, Judge, may my client be excused?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, the next person up is Oscar Hernandez. Oscar Hernandez.
Good morning, Your Honor. Present, and I have a motion to withdraw that this court is set for this morning.
All right, and what is your client's name?
Rebecca Lynn O'Brien.
All right, just give us a moment and I'll get to you, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Colin Hobbs.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Who do you have?
Emeterio Hernandez, and it's family violence. I've already
All
changed
right. Yes. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. I'm going to send you
It's a
to,
little bit easier.
yes, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 10.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Will Brooks.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
I have Joel Cabrera, and it is a motion to modify. He was sentenced 2 weeks ago, and we're asking for the court to change a condition of no contact to no harmful. And you wanted to hear from the complainant who is here in the Zoom this morning.
All right, and that's a family violence case, correct?
Correct, Judge. It's JR. I sent him a copy of the motion and as well as contact information for the complainant.
All right, just give me 1 second. Suzanne Kramer.
I'm here. I just texted Norma. Sheldon Barnes is my client. I've got him on a psych, Judge, and without going in, are we on YouTube? Yes, we are. So I don't want to go into too much detail, but I did talk to Dr. Scott yesterday. I don't even see, he's in jail. I don't even see that he's
No,
here.
he wasn't. No, he's not
Yeah.
brought up today because of the psych. We're going to
Yeah.
give you a new date to come back.
Fabulous. Thank you, Judge.
Norma Ferguson, are you on?
Or she can eat. Looks like she
Just
might
one
be
moment.
coming on. Yeah.
Norma on Sheldon Barnes.
Finally. Sorry, Judge. Finally logged. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, on Sheldon Barnes, we need a reset date because the evaluation has not been completed.
Okay, Judge. We can come back on May 19th, Judge.
All
That
right,
should
we'll-
be, thank you, Judge. That should be fine since Dr. Scott is already working on the eval.
All right, you're excused. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And then there is Noel Guerra, you're here.
Yes, Judge.
Let me see if I can find. Rebecca, this is for William Kandra. Who's the attorney on William Kandra? All right, let me look on the docket and see if William Kandra's attorney is here.
It doesn't say on the docket, Judge.
Hold on.
All right, is he in the courtroom?
I think he's on here.
William Kandra, where are you?
Oh,
All right.
hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, you need to show your video.
Here it is. Here it is. Okay.
And Mr. Martinez, my understanding is that you needed to have a share screen, so you should have share screen now. Jeffrey Martinez.
Same boat, Your Honor. I'm in breakout room number 4.
Yes, you
and
should
I
have
need-
the ability to share screen now.
And the inmate needs it so that I can see his computer, but I'll let him know.
All right, just one second. Norma, can you have one of the deputies help Mr. Matthew Garcia with the share screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Your Honor.
Mr. Kandra,
Yes, ma'am.
you're not supposed to be at your house. You're supposed to be in the courtroom.
I'm sorry. I didn't even know I was scheduled for this until just today. I didn't get the emails. I
Well,
don't-
here's the issue we're having. They're saying that you're refusing to participate in the mental health unit.
Your Honor, I'm ready to go. I'm waiting. I did the assessment with Ms. Brown right the day after. I did that on the 7th of April. She contacted me and said, I'm doing the assessment now. Don't worry about the 14th.
All right, so Mr. Kandra, time out. Let me just tell you the report I'm receiving. So we're going to clear it up right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Because the person who is supervising you on this is here. But let me just tell you the report that the court has, okay? So that we can all be on the same page.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so the reason why you're here on a summons, and we're going to have to get you an attorney unless the state decides to withdraw the motion, is they're saying that you won't participate in the mental health unit. And there's non-compliance with aftercare for safety.
May I respond?
Yes.
I would like to strenuously deny those charges. I spoke to Ms. Brown on April 7th. She contacted me right after my probation appointment with Noella Garcia, the probation officer. I talked to her. She told me I would be moved to the mental health unit off of Palo Alto. I told Ms. Guerra that, and she told me, no, I'm still your probation officer. And I said, I understand, but I'm being moved. That's what Ms. Brown, your supervisor, said. She said, she's not my supervisor. And I said, I realize she's not your supervisor in terms of probation, but she's the one who makes the decision to move into mental health. And I've been waiting to go for that. I have an appointment on the 22nd that I don't even understand how this Zoom works or anything. I have a tablet just for this. I have the internet just for this. I don't use the tablet for anything else.
All right, let's calm down, Mr. Kandra.
Okay, no, I'm sorry.
Okay, here's the thing. Let's not bring in white noise. And you know what I say white noise is?
Yes, ma'am.
White noise is when you have the television set working, like in
Yes, ma'am.
Poltergeist, and you can't understand what's going on, so you just block everything out. So
Okay.
let's stick to what we're talking about.
Sticking to what we're talking about.
Here's
I
the
will
stop. Time out.
Sorry.
So what I'm getting from you now, regardless of what people have said, maybe it's miscommunication, you are willing to participate in what probation is asking you to participate in. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm willing to participate in mental health. I was willing at my off. We had a miscommunication there. I went to Safe P. I missed COVID because I was in jail. It sounded exciting. I'm ready to go. Please just tell me
Okay,
where
so
to
this
report.
is what we're gonna do, Mr. Kandra.
Yes, ma'am.
The state is saying that they're gonna withdraw the motion to revoke, right? So your motion to revoke, let me tell you what you're looking at if you don't continue cooperating, okay? Because I want you to be aware so that we won't have any more issues.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you do not complete your program and what's being asked of you, you could be sent to prison for 5 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, normally on motions to revoke, there are warrants that are issued, and then we will hear your case while you're at the Bexar County Jail. Based upon the nature of what was being told to me in the motion, I decided that we would have you come in and we could talk about it so I could see if you really didn't want to do this. Because if you didn't want to do this, then we're going to take another avenue. But what you're telling me is that you're willing to participate. Is that correct?
Your Honor, I love to talk to psychiatrists. I love to get mental help. I understand that I'm a very bizarre person, and I could talk about myself for hours, but I know you don't have the time for it or the interest.
Well,
honestly.
Pepe, you know what? Pepe Longstocking, they said she was bizarre.
I loved that book when I was a kid.
All right. So this is what I'm going to do. You're telling me that you're willing to participate. So
Please.
the state has told me that they're going to withdraw the motion. So that means you're not going to be going to jail today. They're going to talk. Yes, Ms. Guerra.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Whenever you're done, I just wanted to speak because there's different issues on that motion, not just the mental health part. Overall, like how Mr. Kandra said, he was originally sent to Myoff, and that was a residential unit. In that residential facility, he was discharged unsatisfactorily because he was refusing to participate, which caused another previous MTR. After those MTRs, because I think it was the second or the third MTR from that one, he was sent to participate in SAFE and SAFE aftercare unit. SAFE has 3 phases, which is the first one where you're going to the prison side. Then you go to residential, which he was in Austin. And then the last part is the outpatient part where it's the aftercare that he gets counseling. He has not been able to be treated because in order to be in the program, you have to admit that you have an alcohol and drug problem. He is denying his words are any recollection of any alcohol or any drug use. Therefore, when he went to treatment associates, there was issues. Starting off with, he threw himself on the floor before they called him to the back of the lobby at treatment associates. Again, in the office of the LCDC, he was removing his shoes, being on the floor. He was asked again to, participate, be on the chair. When they were trying to do that intake, at that time, again, he said he had no recollection of any alcohol or drug use, that he's not, he doesn't have any issues, he does not need any help. And so therefore, treatment associates discharged him from that program. So for us in SAFE aftercare, he was discharged unsatisfactorily because of refusing to participate. One of the things also is doing AAs and NAs. I've sent him to those. He again, states several times he does not have an alcohol or drug issue. If I, as his officer, was making him get a sponsor, that sponsor was going to be led to relapse. There's a lot of issues, and I did try to get his mental health evaluation ahead of time, as he said, because I was trying to get the court the full report before we put in any documentation to the courts. And yes, Mr. Kandra did not know about this court hearing today. I'll vouch for that. I just received the email yesterday.
Okay, so
after
time out. So this is what we're going to do. Obviously, there may be some miscommunications problems. So Mr. Kandra says he's willing to participate. Mr. Kandra?
Yes, ma'am.
No shoes, no shirt, no service. Do you understand? How
Yes,
old
ma'am.
are you?
I would like to address what she said.
No, we're not addressing anything else.
49.
How old are you?
49 young.
All right, so here's the thing. Stop with the temper tantrums. Temper tantrums, and I'm telling this to everybody. Temper tantrums are for children who don't have the ability to talk, because that's the only way they can express themselves. Everyone here is an adult. What I require is everyone to treat everyone with respect. So, Mr. Kandra, the state is saying they're going to withdraw this motion. Do not come back here again, because there's a report that you are not participating. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. May I say one thing?
No. I just
Yes,
need my questions answered. Do you understand?
I understand that you want me to participate, and I will participate to the fullest extent of my abilities. And I will successfully complete this program, Your Honor. I will make you proud of me. I will make you happy that you gave me a chance, and I will make you think that I am a success.
All right. So here's the thing. You're saying you're going to make me proud of you. My standards are very high, so I'm holding you to that. Yes, Ms. Guerra.
With all due respect, Your Honor, he was discharged from the aftercare treatment program. He can't restart that program.
That's fine. I'm going to do something else with him.
Okay.
Anything else? All right. So, Rebecca, this is what I want with Mr. Kandra. Mr. Kandra, you know you're not supposed to drink alcohol while you're on probation, correct?
I am not going to drink alcohol again anytime soon.
All right. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you in outpatient treatment with probation. Don't come back here for not participating. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to put you in the mental health unit, or the MIC caseload. Do not come back here for not participating. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If a motion to revoke is filed against you, and if it's found to be true, how much time are you looking at in prison?
5 years, ma'am.
All right, do you want to go to prison for 5 years?
Honestly, no, ma'am, but I miss doing yoga every day. And that's why I was on the floor, because I'm so sore.
Well, here's the thing. Stop. No. Stop with the nonsense. I miss doing yoga too, but let me ask you something. Do you see me on this Zoom doing yoga? No.
No, ma'am,
You know
I do
the
not.
reason why? Because it's not appropriate. So don't
Yes,
come
ma'am.
with me with foolishness.
I'm
That's
sorry,
just pure
ma'am.
foolishness. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So you want to do yoga, you do it at your house,
Yes, ma'am.
or you do it at a yoga studio.
Yes, ma'am.
But if I get one more report that you're behaving inappropriately, we're going to be having this discussion after the state has filed a motion to revoke against you, and we'll be having it from the Bexar County Jail. And you can see if the Bexar County Jail will allow you to do yoga.
They will. Ma'am, you will not see me again until I'm discharged from probation.
All right,
Whatever that may be.
I'm sending you to breakout room number 11. Rebecca, is there anything else that's needed?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm sending you to breakout room number 11. Probation will meet you there. And Miss Guerra, you are excused.
You don't need me to go there with Ms. Reyes?
You can, and then you're excused.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else back from the breakout room?
Yes,
Judge,
Judge,
this
I
is
am.
Carissa Chalkowski.
Just one second. Jeffrey Martinez.
Hi, Your Honor. We just need to swear in Mr. Matthew Garcia. We did his 2 packets of paperwork and he's ready.
All right, I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 1.
And the
Mr.
prisoner is in
Garcia,
breakout.
if you go to 1, they'll
I'll
swear
let
him in
him-
there.
He's in breakout room number 4, Your Honor. I'll go get him.
No, I've already sent him to 1. He's been moved there.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Bridget Garza.
Yes, Judge, I went ahead and I have a plea and I just notified J. Ray Garcia.
Okay.
Do you want Mr. Dalton to stay in that breakout room, or what do you want him to do? And I'm emailing, or I'm texting Norma the plea agreement.
All right, they'll send the paperwork to you. And when you go back to the breakout room with your client, do all the paperwork. And once you're done, I'll send you to breakout room number 1 for your client to be sworn in.
Okay. While Mr. Garcia works up that paperwork, I need to check in the 399, so I'll be right back.
All right, well, if you could do me a favor then, if you could go back to that breakout room and bring Mr. Scharnhorst back to the main room.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Donald Wilson.
Judge, I've conferred with Mr. Freeman. There's a couple of issues that I think the court needs to take up on his matter.
What are these issues?
Well, we're not going to reach an agreement on a deal. And so he has been indicted as a habitual. And so that's going to bump me off the case. So I presume will need a new attorney moving forward for trial on his case.
Just give us a moment. We will address that in just one moment.
Okay.
Cornelius Cox, you need to take off your hat. And who's your client? You're muted. All right, we'll deal with him. Mick Aguilera.
Judge, I'm back from the breakout with Ms. Williamson on Jose Alarcon.
Yes.
We've discussed it. There's a new number 1 that Ms. Williamson wanted to get a better idea what's the possibilities of that case going forward or not. She has emailed the prosecutor that is working on that case in intake.
All right, what page is this? Just one second. Let me find out what page this is on the docket. So it's Jose Lozano.
Jose,
Yes,
yes.
page 2, Judge.
All right, thank you. So there's a new case.
Yes.
Norma, on Jose Lozano,
Yes, ma'am.
I need a reset date for a contested.
Okay, give me 1 second, Judge.
And if it turns out it is not contested, just let us know.
Sure.
I can do it on May 3rd, Judge.
All right, will that give you enough time, state and defense?
That to me when you learn.
I will, of course.
All right, is your
Amazing.
client on bond or in custody?
He's on bond, Judge. I saw him on the screen. He was attempting to join Ms. Williams and I in our breakout room. But he is there under JL or Jose Lozano.
Mr. Lozano, you need to unmute.
I'm right here, Judge. Sorry.
All right, Mr. Lozano, you're coming back on May 3rd for a contested hearing. You'll need to be in the courtroom. That's the 187 District Court. It's on the 4th floor, 300 De La Rosa. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's at 9 a.m.
Okay.
All right, if there's nothing else, Mr. Aguilar, you are excused.
Judge, can I move it to 2 o'clock, please?
Yes, all right, it'll be 2 p.m.
Not
2
a
p.m.,
problem.
Mr. Lozano, in court.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then Judge, on this particular matter, a couple of days ago, I had completely lost track of Mr. Lozano. If you will hold that off bond that's in front of you in abeyance or just deny it outright.
All right, it's already been signed. So you'll have to file a motion to reinstate.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Thank you. May I be excused?
Yes. All right, Norma, on Mr. Donald Wilson for James Friedman. He states that his client is going to be indicted as a habitual, so we need a new attorney appointed for that.
Okay, can you give me just 1 second, Judge?
Yes. Colin Hobbs.
Here, I guess on March the 24th, I had filed a motion to reduce the bond on Mr. Freeman, and at that time you denied it and indicated that you would readdress it today, depending upon what the outcome of his case or his decision today was. So Mr. Freeman is asking me to re-urge his motion to reduce the bond. He's been in jail since August the 5th.
Mr. Wilson, that's going to be a matter for his new attorney to take up.
All right.
Love to hear, but you're saying that he's been indicted as
A habitual.
and that you're not allowed to be on those cases. So I can't hear your motion.
Okay, Judge.
All right, so we're going to get him an attorney in here. Just give us a moment. Will Brooks?
Judge,
Yes.
we're ready on our motion to modify.
All right, have you conferred with the state?
I did, Judge, and to refresh the court's memory, we had sentencing about 2 weeks ago, and we argued the issue at sentencing about no contact versus no harmful. And at that time, the court tabled the issue and asked me to file a motion re-urging it when we could essentially make the victim available, so you could ask the victim if that was her preference, if that makes sense. And she is in the Zoom this morning.
Okay. All right, just give me a moment. Mr. Scharnhurst, I'm going to send you with your attorney. And let me see where you are. Just 1 second. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3. And Ms. Garza, if you'll go to 3, please. And just 1 second, Will, I'm going to take up your matter.
Judge Ed Garza, just wanted to let the court know we're ready on the
Just give me a
sentencing.
moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jeffrey Martinez, you're with Matthew Garcia, that's there.
they're different. Yeah,
Mr. Scharnhurst, I need you to go to breakout room number 3. Look at the bottom of your screen. Do you see boxes that say breakout?
Click on the blue one.
The bottom of your screen. Do you
Oh,
see where
yes,
it says?
ma'am.
Click on that,
You just sent these two. I don't know.
and it should be inviting you to breakout room number 3, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, who's the prosecutor on Will Brooks's case?
It was JR, Judge.
Yeah, it was Joe Ray, but I can stand in for him, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Or I guess sit in technically.
All right, and Mr. Brooks, is your client here?
Yes, he is, Judge. And the victim is Miss Seddenberry, Judge, and she's here as well.
Okay, let me just find the motion. Okay, here we are. And right now. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 2913W State of Texas versus Joel Cabrera. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
David Martin.
For the defense?
Will Brooks.
All right, are you Mr. Cabrera? Could you unmute, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, ma'am.
You're not
No
the state,
objection.
Mr. Cabrera. Mr. Martin,
no.
any objections?
No.
Mr. Brooks, any objections?
No, Judge.
Mr. Cabrera, any objections?
No, ma'am.
All right, we're here because there's a motion to amend defendant's conditions of community supervision. Defense is your motion. You may proceed.
And Judge, I'll stand on the argument that we made at sentencing about the issue of no contact versus no harmful. They're young people. They have a child together. They live together. And it's my understanding that it's their desire to have no harmful or injurious contact rather than no contact. Also, the EPO is expired at this point. So there's no, other than the condition, there's no other judicial prohibitions about them being together, Your Honor.
State?
I mean, if the complainant's here and wants to testify to that, I guess Mr. Brooks can just ask her that question and we can go from there.
All right, Mr. Brooks, is the witness here?
She is, Judge.
And how is she listed on the screen?
Should be as her name. It's Miss Seddenberry.
Ms. Seddenberry, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you listed on your phone?
It's the name, it should be my name, it's KXYANA and then the S for my last name.
All right, thank you. All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please?
I raise my right.
It said, yes. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. Could you state your name for the record and spell it, please?
It's Kiana Sedberry, KEYANA
All right, defense.
Judge, it's been so long since I've conducted a direct examination. Actually, I can just invite the court to inquire, or I can question her if the court prefers.
Yes, question her, Mr. Brooks.
Hi, Ms. Seddenberry. My name is Will Brooks. Could you introduce yourself to the court?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Kiana, do you know Joel Cabrera?
Yes.
And how do you know him?
I know him because we're in a relationship together. We have kids.
Are y'all married?
Not legally, but we consider it married since we've been living together And
So you guys reside together, correct?
yes,
You have children together.
yes,
And do you know that he has been placed on probation for assaulting you?
yes,
And as a condition, he is to have no contact with you at this time.
yes.
Do you want the court and judge to modify that condition to where you could have contact with Joel?
Yes.
And why do you want that modified?
Because I don't want to, like we have kids together and I'm doing it all alone at the moment. I am at my mom's, but there's not help here. He took me away from that for a reason, and then he took care of me, and then all this incident happened, and like I'm just feeling stuck at the moment, and I need his help.
Do you understand the difference between no contact and no harmful contact?
Yes, we can't communicate at all. Like no type of communication. He can't call me or text me. I can't see each other. He can't talk to me through someone else.
Understood.
Oh.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right, state any questions?
No, Judge.
All right, Ms. Sedberry, do you know why Mr. Cabrera has all these bruises on his face?
No, I don't know why.
All right. So do you,
sorry,
I'm not questioning you, Mr. Cabrera, just wait your turn. So Ms. Sedberry, how long have you and Mr. Cabrera been together? And could you?
Since 2018.
All right, and how old are you?
I'm 20.
All right, and how many children do you have?
We have 2.
All right, so was Child Protective Services involved in this case?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you want to have contact with him?
I do.
And what is your location at this time?
It's the Lord Road. It's the Lord. It's apartments. I don't know the exact location, but it's at my apartments.
Do you live there by yourself?
No.
Who lives there with you?
I have 3 brothers and a sister and my mom, and then 2 little ones.
All right. So what is the issue with your mom that you no longer want to stay there?
It's me and her's relationship. We never had a good relationship. So like the moment I like moved out and everything, she's there for the kids, but she just said she's not gonna be there for me at all. So our relationship isn't like, I don't like to make her unhappy or fight with her. So as I'm here, I have to like listen to everything she tells me to do. I'm like 20 years old, you know? So it's like,
well, I mean, I
okay,
understand what you're saying, but let me explain something to you. And this is me giving you truth that somebody perhaps should have given you a long time ago. We can go off the record, Brenna. Here's the thing. When you live under somebody else's roof, you need to follow their rules. So the fact that you're 20, 30, 40, it doesn't matter. If you're 20 years old, 40 years old and live with your mom, and she says your curfew is at 10, it's at 10.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you shouldn't be living with your mom. You need to get your own house.
Yes, exactly.
And here's another home truth for you. I don't know why sometimes children, when they have children at a young age, they still want to act like they're a child at a young age and don't have children. At that point in time, when you have children, you're an adult. I'm sure your mom just wants to be a grandmother to the children. And when she says that she's not there to take care of you, well, she's really not there to take care of you because you're an adult, you're grown, your children are not. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So are you trying to build a relationship with Mr. Cabrera?
Yes, I am.
All right. Mr. Cabrera, defense, are you going to call Mr. Cabrera?
No, Your Honor.
All right. We're not on the record. Mr. Cabrera, I have a few questions for you.
Yes, ma'am.
What's up with the marks on your face?
I went when they took me off a monitor. I went with my father, and we went out to his ranch to I can make some money to be able to pay for the parenting thing that you put me on. And I was riding on the dirt bike on the ranch to help him move like the seeds and stuff like that for the deers. And I flipped the bike and I scraped my face on the floor. I have marks like on my legs and stuff. It's like a burn mark.
Okay. All right. I just want to clear that up.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So state, do you have any, well, we're back on the record, Brenda. I'm sorry. State, do you have any objections?
Judge, I just entered, but I'm caught up to what you're talking about. I talked to Ms. Sedberry.
Well, make an announcement of who are you on the record, please.
This is Joey Garcia for the state.
All right. Yes. Mr. Garcia, any objections to this?
No, there's not, Judge. And I did speak to the complainant, and this is upon her request.
All right, then I'll grant the order. Mr. Cabrera,
yes,
don't come back to this court because there are some issues with Ms. Sedberry. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You're supposed to love somebody. That means you respect them. That means that you don't put your hands on anyone that you love. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And as far as I'm concerned, that includes children as well.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if there's nothing else, you're excused. And Ms. Sedberry, as long as you stay with your mom, then you need to follow her rules.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. If there's nothing else, then
Can I
the
be
record is
excused?
closed. Yes, you're excused. Your attorney is excused. Mr. Brooks, do you have anything else with us?
I don't, Judge. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. All right, Cornelius Cox. You were riding in a vehicle. All right. Everyone who has a plea, as soon as I get the paperwork, we'll take that up. I can't take it up before I have paperwork. Ed Garza, you're here. Who do you have?
Victor Guerra, Your Honor, we're ready for sentencing. I've already reviewed the PSI.
All right, and have you talked to your client?
Yes, Your Honor, we spoke last night or yesterday afternoon for a good while.
All right, just give me a moment and I'll take that up. Michael Sawyer, who do you have?
Anyway, that's my position. Tafoya, and he should be on the computer link this morning.
I'm sorry, what's the last name?
Tafoya, Tafolla.
And is it criminal trial division or family violence?
This is the criminal division, ma'am.
All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you to a breakout room. A prosecutor will meet you there. I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Well, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Fernando Cortez.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here on Alberto Trevino. And we've already conferred on that case. I just want to continue with the trial setting, please.
All right, is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal trial division.
All right, so what I'm going to do is, because sometimes the state makes new offers, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4.
Okay, good.
Cornelius Cox, who do you have?
Mr. Gavon.
Who?
Gavon.
All right, is that criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal trial.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you.
All right, and who would be the prosecutor on Victor Guerra?
I can, Judge.
All right, it's for a sentencing.
Yes.
Courtroom, could you have Victor Guerra appear, please?
And Judge, before we start, I send you a chat.
All right, thank you. I'll look at that. Just give me one moment. All right, the court is going to call 2019 CR 6875A, State of Texas versus Victor Lee Guerra. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Alexandra Williamson.
For the defense?
Ed Garza, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Guerra?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're here for sentencing. The defendant has applied for deferred adjudication or community supervision. The state is remaining silent. Punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. The state is taking into consideration 2020 CR 2215. This plea was taken by video. This sentencing is occurring by video, but the defendant is in the courtroom. This is not one of the days the 187th is allowed to have in-person hearings without approval from the administrative judge, and that has been approved for this sentencing. Is there any objections to this taking place by video, defense?
No, Your Honor.
State?
No.
Mr. Guerra, do you have any objection to this sentencing taking place by video?
No, Your Honor.
All right, defense and state, have you received a copy of the PSI report?
Yes,
Yes.
Your Honor.
Are there any objections or corrections to the PSI report?
None from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, the state is silent. Mr. Garza, the court will hear you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, Mr. Guerra is a little up in age to be experiencing these kind of problems. Unfortunately, of course, as the court is aware by reviewing the PSI, he has had one other time in which he was placed on probation, which he successfully completed. So obviously he's no stranger to the responsibilities and duties that he's going to have to undertake should the court grant him deferred. In the court that the other two co-defendants that were named in this same indictment were granted in this situation. And I would think that he's motivated enough for the judge to consider that the granting of the application for deferred, Your Honor. He is gainfully employed. He has a good support system with the lady, Erica Sanchez, who he lives with. He does have family, and he has grown children that I think also are very supportive. And we'd ask the court to take those matters into consideration and grant our
Co-defendants giving deferred adjudication?
The one I see, yes, he was given deferred in 2019.
All right. So, Mr. Guerra, the court has a few questions for you. Could you raise your right hand for me? Doing with young children selling marijuana. Good to do certain jobs, because I'm looking at the PSI report, and now at the PSI report, it's saying that you're working 2 jobs. So why can you work 2 jobs before?
I just recently bought me a lawnmower and a weed eater and a blower, and that's my second job.
Yeah, why are you still using? And why would you come to court positive knowing that the court could sentence you to prison today?
I'm being honest, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
No, I want you to be honest, but I'm just trying to figure out what level of your drug addiction is. I'm trying to understand why you would come to court knowing you have sentencing. This plea was introduced when you know you're coming to court, and your attorney is going to be asking me not to send you to prison.
Yes, Your Honor. I don't know. I just did it the other day, just 2 days ago.
That's not my question.
No,
Do
ma'am.
they do drugs as well?
No.
Because sometimes you can say no drugs in the house, but people are doing drugs outside the house.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who lives in the house with you other than her?
It's me, my daughter, and my 3 grandsons, and my wife.
And how old are they? How old are the grandsons?
They are 3, 2, and 1.
And do you think it's appropriate for you, who uses synthetic marijuana, to be around your grandchildren?
No, ma'am.
So why are you continuing to do it then?
I wasn't doing it at the house. I wasn't around them. I was away.
Well, let me give you an example. If you need somebody to babysit your grandchildren, let's say you need somebody because you're working, all the adults are working, so you need a babysitter. So people say, hey, we've heard of this person named Stephanie Boyd. She'd be a great babysitter. Hey, she's the Black Mary Poppins. So I come to your house, your children love me. I'm singing them songs about a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. And they're like, we love her, she's great. You all are like, we love Black Mary Poppins, she's great. And you want to hire me. And as you're getting ready to hire me and I leave and I say, well, I just want to let you know, I used marijuana the other day. Mind you, I'm not going to use it in your house, but I used it the other day. Do you still let me babysit your grandchildren?
No.
Really?
No.
You wouldn't let me babysit your grandchildren? I'm the Black Mary Poppins.
No, Your Honor.
And see, you're not even a Mary Poppins, and you think it's okay to babysit your children. But
No.
we're going to end that today. So this is what I'm going to do. I'll grant you your deferred adjudication. I'm going to sentence you to 5 years deferred adjudication, take in consideration 2020 CR 2215, intensive outpatient treatment with probation, weekly Zoom reporting, or in-person reporting until further notice. Proof of employment.
This guy Middlebrook keeps calling, but I'm just
Within, proof of employment within 15 days. Mr. Garza. Edward Garza.
I'm sorry.
You're in the middle of a court hearing. You would not answer your phone if you were in court, so you can't do it now.
No, I understand, Judge. It's my message machine. I apologize. It's just that they're calling me from another court and they're just going to have to wait.
Yes, you need to show your video.
Yes. Okay.
Proof of employment within 15 days. No employment with vulnerable persons. What that means is no employment as a home healthcare provider, or any job that requires you to supervise or be in contact with minors. And there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. I'm going to want UAs, tests for levels. I'm going to want field visits 3 times per month, random. Parenting classes. 120 hours of community service restitution. Mr. Guerra, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, Your Honor. I thank you for granting me this wish. I will not fail you.
Ms. Reyes, is there anything else that Mr. Guerra needs?
No, ma'am. Are we doing the drug test today?
No, he's already said he's going to be positive, but I want him to be tested for levels, and I'm going to want random UAs also.
Okay.
Mr. Guerra, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, I did.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're off the record. Mr. Guerra, you're older. Be better, do better. You're supposed to be setting an example for your grandchildren and your daughter. Right now, you're not being a great example. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And if you're going to wear the cross, be the cross. Don't just wear it for show. Internalize what it means. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Garza, you're excused. to the courtroom. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2.
Yes, Judge.
And probation, if you'll go to breakout room number 2, please. And Mr. Garza, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Norma, I
Yes,
am
ma'am.
putting, you're answering the chat box.
Thank you.
And see if he can come to the court, if he can zoom in.
Okay.
Mr. Wilson, you're going to be excused, but I'm going to ask that you remain here.
So I know that
I'm going to ask that you remain here, Mr. Wilson. The attorney that's going to be appointed to you, Mr. Friedman, is going to be Frank Sandoval.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Wilson, if you can remain, and maybe the court will hear the motion on the bond reduction, if you can give the attorney some insight into that.
Will do, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, Fernando Cortez on Mr. Trevino.
Yes, Judge, we conferred again, and we still want to keep it on the trial docket, please.
All right, Alberto Trevino, where are you? All right, I need you to unmute.
Okay, right here. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. You're not driving, are you?
I just stopped. I was heading to my work, but I stopped in the parking lot.
Okay, thank you. The driving public appreciates that. My understanding is that you're rejecting the plea bargain agreement. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, then your plea deadline has expired. The court will not give you another plea deadline date. What that means is that you will be up for jury trial. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And defense, do you want a jury trial or a bench trial?
Jury trial, Judge, please.
All right, we will schedule you then for a jury trial. You and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, anyone else back?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor. Paul Blue.
Okay,
Judge,
just
this
give
is
me one
Carissa
second.
Chalkowski as well.
Okay, just give me one moment. Carissa, yes.
Yes, I conferred with Mr. Sanders on those nightmare cases, and if we could just, we're just going to continue to confer, and I now know who helped the intake prosecutor is handling it.
All right, just confer with him off docket then, okay?
I will continue to do so, absolutely. May I be excused, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Michael Sawyer?
Hi, Judge. Spoke with the state. They made an offer. We have heard. I need to go back to the breakout room with my client, Jacob Tafoya.
All right, Jacob Tafoya, is he in custody or on bond?
On bond, he's on Zoom, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Tafoya, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4. Jacob Tafoya, number 4, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Judge,
All right.
what's
Yes.
John Bart? Judge,
Are you ready on Ramsey Gonzalez?
we conferred, yes, Your Honor. I believe he was supposed to appear in court, so we might want to have him called in the courtroom.
All right, Deputy Mejia, is Ramsey Gonzalez in the courtroom?
No, Judge, he is not.
All right. All right, is there a prosecutor available on Mr. Ramsey Gonzalez, please?
Ray.
Okay. All right. Court is calling 2019 CR 9380, State of Texas versus Ramsey Gonzalez. Can I have the parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Joe Ray Garcia.
For the defense?
George Dunbar for the defendant.
All right, Deputy Mejia, is there a Ramsey Gonzalez in the courtroom?
No, Judge, he is not.
All right, and there has not been a Ramsey Gonzalez on the Zoom screen. Defense, do you have any idea where your client is?
Judge, I guess without, violating any attorney-client privilege, I can just state that I am present, Your Honor.
All right, have you had contact with your client?
I have not spoken to him, I believe, since last week when we were in court.
All right. So your client is aware of this setting? If you do not wish to violate any attorney-client privilege, the court understands.
Yeah, Judge, that I mean, without implicating anything, so I would just remain silent on that.
All right. We're here. This is his 5th violation report, which means there were 4 other violations reports where the court has previously admonished Mr. Gonzalez not to violate GPS anymore. And it appears that he continues to violate the GPS, and he is currently charged with assault family 2nd offense. Defense, I'm sorry, state.
Yes, Judge, at this time, we request that his bond be forfeited and a warrant issued.
All right, I'll grant.
And Judge, we would just object to that, and but if the court does decide to grant the request, then we would ask that a bond be set in the amount of $60,000. I think is what me and the state had discussed, but our concerns were that we may be missing a party to the negotiations.
All right, this is what the court will do. I'm going to increase his bond to $50,000 and full GPS. Is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
All right, with that, we'll close the record. You are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
All right, thank you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, who are the parties on Pletka?
Daniel De La Garza, Your Honor.
Tom.
All right, everyone, just give me one moment. Brennan, we have several cases. The court is calling 2020 CR 4581, 2021 CR 1464, and 2021 CR 3281W. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Tom Nisbet for the state.
for the defense?
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel De La Garza for the defense.
All right, and are you Mr. Anthony Pletka?
Yes, ma'am.
And each of these cause numbers, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state or the defense?
None, Your Honor, from the defense.
Mr. Pletka, in each of these cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you
Yes, ma'am.
understand them? And did
Yes,
you
ma'am.
electronically, wait till I finish.
Oh, sorry.
Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? And did you electronically sign them?
Yes, ma'am.
Then each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Mr. Pletka, and cause number 2021 CR 3281W, showing you a document entitled Waiver of Indictment, Reading of Information and Rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to have a grand jury hear the evidence in that cause number, make a decision on whether or not to indict? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you also understand that your attorney has certain rights, namely 2 days from the presentation of the information and 10 days from the presentation of the information to prepare for trial? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Then the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Counsel, in each of these cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled Acknowledgement of Discovery. Have you received all the discovery in each of these cause numbers, and did you review that discovery with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then in each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Pletka, and cause number 2021 CR 3281W, I'm showing you what's entitled Information. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And in cause number 2021 CR 1464 and 2020 CR 4581, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, in each of the cause numbers, do you waive the reading of the indictments and the reading of the information?
Yes, Your Honor.
State in cause number 2021 CR 3281W, are you proceeding on the information as presented?
3281W, yes.
And are you proceeding on both paragraphs?
3281W shouldn't have any paragraphs.
It has count 1, paragraph A and paragraph B.
Oh, yeah, it's the same count, Judge. So yes, we're proceeding on that single count.
And then in cause number 2021 CR 1464, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes.
And then in cause number 2020 CR 4581, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
In that indictment, we're waiving the 2 enhancement paragraphs.
Any objections to the waiver of enhancements?
No, Your Honor, none from the defense.
Mr. Plefka, in each of these cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? And did you electronically sign them in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
And cause number 2021 CR 3281W, you're charged with the offense of burglary of a building with intent to commit theft. And cause number 2021 CR 1464, you're charged with evading arrest, detention, second or more. And in cause number 2020 CR 4581, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. Each of those offenses are state jail felonies. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering a plea bargain agreement in each of these cause numbers, you're waiving your right? Sorry, did you need anything? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, in each of these cause numbers, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
No, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Plefka, in each of the cause numbers, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Then in each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. In each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled plea bargain page. Did you review those pages with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And each of the cause numbers, the state is requesting that your punishment be assessed at 12 months in the state jail facility. There are no applications for community supervision or deferred adjudication. Each of the cause numbers were one concurrent with each other. And each of the cause numbers, if you fail to appear for sentencing, you will be subject to the full range of punishment. And in cause number 2020 CR 4581, the state is taking in consideration night mag numbers 597, 517, 597, 518. County court cause numbers 637713, 647918, 644815, 643631, JN number 1966489, 1966492, 1966493, 1966494, and they are waiving the repeater offender enhancement allegation. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement in each of these cases, Mr. Plefka?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement in each of these cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement in each of these cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each of the cases, Mr. Plefka, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it
Yes.
in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counselor, have there been any such motions in either of the causes?
No, Your Honor.
Then Mr. Pletka, in cause number 2021 CR 3281W, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
And in cause number 2021 CR 1464, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
And in cause number 2020 CR 4581, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty, Your Honor.
State, in each of those cause numbers, do you have any evidence to support the defendant's guilty plea?
Yes, Judge, we offer States Exhibit 1 and attachments.
Any objections?
None, Your Honor, from the defense.
Mr. Pletka, in each of these cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them, and did you electronically sign them in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call them, the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand that the state will be presenting evidence today in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. And in each of the cause numbers, the court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and cause number 2021 CR 3281W, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. In cause number 2021 CR 1464, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. In 2020 CR 4581, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Mr. Pletka, we're going to come back in 2 weeks for your sentencing. You will need to appear in the courtroom. It's the 187th District Court. It's on the 4th floor. It's 300 De La Rosa. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Ferguson, can I have a date for Mr. Pletka to be in court for sentencing?
Yes, ma'am. Give me 1 second. He can come back on the 28th, Judge.
All right, we're going to see you on April 28th at 9 a.m. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Pletka, let me explain something to you again.
Yes,
If you
ma'am.
do not appear, the state is stating, and part of your plea bargain agreement is that you'll be subject to the full range of punishment. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also what you need to understand is if you do not appear, the court does not have to follow this plea bargain agreement. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what time are you to be in court?
9 a.m.
What date?
28th,
All right, and where are we located?
300 De La Rosa, 187 courtroom.
All right, awesome. You know where you need to be. All right, we
Yes,
will
ma'am.
see you then.
You'll have his
Yes, ma'am.
toothbrush, Your Honor. Thank you. May we be
Yes.
excused?
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. All right, who are the attorneys on Matthew Anthony Garcia,
Jeffrey Martinez for defense, Your Honor.
all right, and who was the prosecutor?
Marcus.
All right, Mr. Garcia, could you unmute for me, please? If you're pressed, thank you. All right,
Can
are
you
you
hear me?
able to hear me, Mr. Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Court is calling 2020 CR 2213 and 2020 CR 2954, State of Texas versus Matthew Anthony Garcia. Could I have the parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
Jeffrey Martinez, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state or the defense?
No objection.
No objection.
Mr. Garcia, in each of these cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video. Did you review that document with your attorney? And did
Yes,
you
ma'am.
understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Then in each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Mr. Garcia, in cause number 2021 CR 2954W, I'm going to show you a document entitled Waiver of Indictment, Reading of Information and Rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up the right to have a grand jury hear all the evidence in this case and make a decision on whether or not to indict?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you also understand you were giving up certain rights your attorney has, namely 2 days from the presentation of the information and 10 days from the presentation of the information to prepare for trial? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in that cause number?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. And that cause number 2021 CR 2954W, the court is showing you a document entitled Information. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the information?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the information as presented?
Yes, Judge, we are.
And then in 2020 CR 2213, showing you a document entitled True Bill of Indictment. Mr. Garcia, did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, we are.
Mr. Garcia, in each of the cause numbers, I'm sorry, counsel, in each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled Acknowledgement of Discovery. Have you reviewed all the discovery in each of these cause numbers with your client? And have you received all the discovery from the state?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find in each of the cause numbers that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Garcia, in each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them and did you electronically sign them?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, the court is showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? And did you electronically sign them in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
And cause number 2021 CR 2954W, you're charged with the offense on unauthorized use of a vehicle. That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication in that cause number, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
In cause number 2020 CR 2213, you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams. At the third degree felony, the range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And each of the cause numbers, did you understand if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement? If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And each of the cause numbers, do you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
And each of the cause numbers, did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And in each of the cause numbers, did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, in each of the cause numbers, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, in each of the cause numbers, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, are you a U.S. citizen?
Excuse me, I can't.
In each of the cause numbers, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry about that.
Then in each of the cause numbers, the court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. In each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you, yes.
I believe one of the cause numbers you said was an unauthorized use. There should be a theft of a vehicle, the 2021 CR 2954W. I don't know if something was done incorrectly on the paperwork, but.
All right. Mr. Garcia, in cause number 2021 CR 2954W, you're charged with theft of a vehicle, $2,500 to $30,000. Do you understand?
I believe I was understanding it was unauthorized use.
State and defense are telling me that they're going with the charge of theft, $2,500 to $30,000 of a vehicle. The range of punishment is still the same as an unauthorized use. So do you understand that they're proceeding on theft, $2,500 to $30,000? Do you need to speak with your attorney?
No, ma'am. It's fine if it's the same.
All right, Mr. Sandoval, I'm sending you to breakout room number 1. And Donald Wilson, I'll send you to breakout room number 1 so you can speak with Mr. Sandoval.
All right, thank you, Judge.
And when you all are ready, just send it to me in the chat box and I'll send your client to that breakout room.
All right, thanks.
All right, we're back on the record. Mr. Garcia, in
Yes, ma'am.
2021 CR 2954W, my understanding from both the state and the defense that they're proceeding on the charge of theft, $2,500 to $30,000 of a vehicle. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you understand that the full range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page in each of these cause numbers. Did you review that plea bargain page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, the state is asking for a $1,500 fine. The cases will run concurrently with each other. The state is recommending deferred adjudication. The state will be taking in consideration NIMAC numbers 594836 and 594835. There's to be restitution to Michael Dobbs in 2021 CR 2954W, $180 for drug testing to the Bexar County Crime Lab, Alamos Park. There's to be no contact with Michael Dobbs. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement in each of the cause numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement in each of the cause numbers?
Your Honor, I just want to be careful. I think the TIC was for NIGhtMag 594835. NIGhtMag 594836 became the theft 2,500 to 30K, the 2021 CR 2954W.
All right, so in cause number 2021 CR 2954W, what the plea bargain reads as the case that will be taken in consideration is NIGhtMag number 594836. Are you saying that's incorrect?
I would need to just triple check.
It should be 594835. That's being TIC.
All right, any objections to the court changing that?
No, Your Honor.
All right, is that your understanding of the plea bargain agreement defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Garcia, do you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then in each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counselor, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. In each of these cause numbers, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years, and there be 100 hours of community service restitution and a TAP evaluation. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then in cause number 2021 CR 2954W, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
And in cause number 2020 CR 2213, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, in each of the cause numbers, do you have any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, the state offers states Exhibit 1 and its attachments for each case.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, in each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? And did you electronically sign them in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call them, the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements, police reports, laboratory reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Then in each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. What I be charged with, or? Not sure. Can we go over it real quick? Excuse me, sir. Those documents are the ones on the Gmail, correct? Okay. That's okay. Yes, I went over that, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, each of the cause numbers, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Garcia,
Yes, ma'am.
when's the last time you had employment?
Employment. Believe I'm still employed.
Doing what?
Excuse me.
What do you do?
Oh, general freight transportation.
Do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
All right, when's the last time you used drugs before being locked up?
Believe about 4 months prior.
All right, what drugs were you using at that time?
I believe it was alcohol and marijuana.
All right, who is Vincent Valenzuela? Is he a relative of yours?
He's a family friend.
All right, and who is Ian Arthur Frunschnitt? Freunscht.
He was a coworker.
If you're released, where would you be living?
Believe with my father at 626 Potomac.
Have you cleared that with him?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
What are your hours of employment?
Believe it's during the day, which is 7 in the morning to at least 3 during the afternoon, depending on which jobs I am able to take on.
How far did you go in school?
High school.
So what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
To move towards with this business. I believe there's a lot of work to do in general freight transportation. It's just about getting it done.
All right, this is what the court is going to do.
Yes, ma'am.
Clause number 2020 CR 2213. Court will sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication, no contact with Vincent David Valenzuela or Ian Arthur Frunsch, $1,500 fine that will be probated. There's going to be a 6 p.m. curfew.
Okay.
4 years deferred adjudication, which I've already said, concurrent with 2021 CR 2954W, take in consideration NIMAC number 594835, $180 restitution for drug testing to the Bexar County Crime Lab / Olamus Park. No contact with Michael Dobbs, that's Dobbs. Weekly Zoom reporting until further notice.
Yes, ma'am.
$100 of community service restitution, outpatient treatment with probation, random UAs or patch until further notice.
Yes,
ma'am. Rebecca, is there anything else that he needs?
No, ma'am.
Mr.
Oh,
Garcia.
I'm sorry, the proof of employment, are you gonna do that?
Yes, thank you. Proof of employment
Yes, ma'am.
within 15 days of release.
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be no employment with vulnerable persons. What that means is you cannot be a home health care provider. You cannot be involved in any employment that involves you supervising minors. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and in cause number 2021 CR 2954W, going to follow your agreement. sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication, $1,500 fine. That will be probated. Take in consideration NIMAC number 594835. This will run concurrent with 2020 CR 2213. No contact with Michael Dobbs. $100 hours of community service restitution, weekly Zoom reporting until further notice. Outpatient treatment with probation.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Random UAs or patch until further notice.
Yes, ma'am.
Proof of employment within 15 days.
Yes, ma'am.
No employment with vulnerable persons. So again, that means no employment with as a home health care provider or any job that involves the supervision of minors. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and on each of these cause numbers, is there anything else that you need, Mr. Garcia, in order to be successful on your deferred adjudication?
No, ma'am. I think everything is I think I'm good to go.
All right,
Yes, for
Mr.
some
Garcia.
clarification, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, in each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them and did you electronically sign them?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Garcia, good luck to you. We'll go off the record. Mr. Garcia, what tattoos do you have underneath your neck there?
I believe it's a ram.
All right, was that painful?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
All right, and what is the 1992 about?
My birth year.
All right, you needed to have that tattoo. You couldn't remember that?
This is
Or
when
is,
I was pretty young.
or is it so people, when they see you, they'll be like, oh, you must have been born in 1992? Is that what you're telling me?
No, this is when I was young when I got these tattoos.
All right, I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 2.
Your Honor, before we go, could I get
probation.
two questions for clarification?
Yes.
The 100 hours of community service, I know you said they were concurrent. Just so Mr. Garcia knows, he needs to complete a total of 100 or 200 since he has the 2 cases.
All right, he needs to complete a total of 100 on one case and 100 on the other.
Thank you, Your Honor. And then the 6 p.m. curfew, can that be until further notice as well, or is that going to be for the lifetime of his probation?
That's
So he
until
brings that
further
back.
notice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All righty. So what I'm going to do is I'll send you all to breakout room number 2 and probation officer will meet you there.
And then after that, may be excused.
Yes. All right, can someone check to see if what the update is on Immaterio Hernandez on the Veterans Treatment Court, please?
Judge, and you're ready for me to go to the breakout room?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to verify before I left.
No problem. We're checking on that, Mr. Hobbs. Mr. Sawyer, you've been patient. What is happening with your client?
Well, Your Honor, we've conferred with the state. There's a pretty good offer on the table. This is the first time I've ever seen my client in all this time. I explained why it's necessary to have contact with him in order to do a defense.
Okay.
He's slated to come and see me tomorrow at 2 o'clock to go over this. I believe this case can be resolved on the next setting.
All right.
Nowadays, long setting, maybe judge 3 weeks out should be sufficient.
All right. Norma, on Jacob Tafala.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you recall that in 3 weeks for a plea?
Yes, ma'am.
If it works out, Your Honor, the plea will be to a different case in a different court.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I see. Thank you, Judge.
All right, just 1 second. Norma's going to give you the
May
date.
5th, Judge.
Where are you at, Judge?
All right, so May 5th, we'll set you May 5th for a plea.
May 5th.
Yes.
Judge, have a good day.
All right, thank you. You too.
Yes, ma'am, may I be excused?
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Judge Con
Cornelius,
Wilson.
just one second. Cornelius Cox, where are you?
Yes, ma'am. Right here, Judge.
Yes, who's your client?
Davante Govan, Govan. And he's the one with the Martin Luther King in the background.
Yes, have you spoken to a prosecutor?
Oh, yes, Judge. A plea was offered. What I'd like to do, Judge, if I can, is reset it, give me an opportunity to explore what the prosecutor told me with my client.
All right, it's a motion to revoke.
I know, Judge. So I just want to explore to see what he actually has a new case, Judge. And the sole on the MTR is the new case is the only allegation.
All right, Norma, on Mr. Devante Jamar Gavan, can you set this for a contested hearing, please?
Yes, ma'am.
And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it's set for a contested.
All right, Judge.
All right, she's going to give you a date.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, do you want him to be in court?
Yes.
I can do Thursday the 6th in the afternoon.
All right, we'll see you all on May 6th for a contested.
May 6th?
Yes.
Well, Judge, is that one of our in-court days? Because if I have to do a contested, much like Mr. Richard Blanco, I'm gonna have to put a real gun into evidence on this. So it's gonna be real people in court because I can't just wave a gun over Zoom.
Yeah. No, it's May 6th is Thursday.
That's an in-court day?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
All right, so it'll be at 2 p.m.
Okay, and Tom, I'll let you know something, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Gavon, can you unmute for me, please?
Hello.
All right, Mr.
Can you
Gavon,
hear
we'll
me?
see. Yes, I can hear you. We'll see you back here on May 6th at 2 p.m. You need to be in the 187 District Court. It's on the 4th floor. It's 300 De La Rosa. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you then.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Cox, if you don't have anyone else with us, you're excused.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right. Donald Wilson.
Yes, Judge, I have spoken with Mr. Sandoval and got him up to speed. And so I guess Mr. Freeman needs to be put into room 1.
All right, Mr. Freeman, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1 with your attorney. Let me find you on the screen.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Yes, you've been sent to number 1.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and Mr. Wilson, you're excused unless you want to go to number 1 as well.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and Mr. Sandoval is in number 1. If you'll stay there, please.
Sure.
Mr. Freeman, if you look at the bottom of your computer screen, you should see boxes that say breakout room. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, click on that.
Okay, I got it right here, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Paul Ballou. Paul Ballou, you're muted.
There we go, Judge. Judge, I spoke with ADA Morris and he's extended an offer. It's the first plea date. I would ask that we both ask that we have one more setting to discover whether or not there's one more video that exists in discovery from the Bexar Sheriff's office.
All right, where's your client?
He is here beside me, Your Honor.
All right. Norma, can you give me a 30-day reset on Aja Aranda?
Yes, ma'am. They can come back on the 19th.
All right, we'll see you back on May 19th.
Yes, Judge. Will that be Zoom or in person?
That will be Zoom.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Yes.
All right. You have a nice day.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.
James Toshi.
Hey, Judge, good morning.
morning.
So let me ask you this. Are you going to be in your office this afternoon? Because the reason I'm here is long and convoluted, and I don't want to waste everybody's time. It's an off docket motion that I
Okay.
want to file.
I'm here every day from 8:30 to 5:30.
Okay. Would it be okay if I poked in around 2 o'clock to bend your ear for 10 minutes?
Probably it would be best at 1:30. We have a setting at 2 o'clock and it's contested.
I can do 1:30, Judge.
All right, see you then.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, we have another plea, and that is on Dante Scharnhorst. So are parties ready?
Yes, Judge, the status.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, who's the defense attorney on Scharnhorst?
Bridget Garza.
Bridget Garza.
I'm here, Judge.
Thank you.
We're ready to go.
Great. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 10535, State of Texas versus Dalton Wayne Scharnhorst. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Ray Garcia for the state.
For the defense?
Bridget Garza for defense.
Are you Mr. Scharnhorst?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection, Mr. Garcia?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection, Ms. Garza?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Scharnhorst, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Ms. Garza, I'm showing you a document entitled Discovery Acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Scharnhorst, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Scharnhorst, I'm going to show you a document entitled Court's Admonishment and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand what you're charged with is assault, family choking, strangulation? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 years up to 10 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Scharnhorst, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison.
This is all we got right now.
Defense and state, there's a $1,000 fine, but it's listed as probated. But this is a prison sentence. So are you just not asking that $1,000 fine be removed? What are we doing with that?
Judge, we can remove the fine if there's no objection.
Any objections to that, Ms.?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, according to the plea bargaining agreement, then, Mr. Scharnhorst, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. There are no applications for community supervision or deferred adjudication. State will take in consideration County Court Cause number 648306, 2021 CR 0740. There's to be no contact with Sharon Ann Witz, WITZE, and there's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And did you understand with the affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Repeat that one more time, ma'am. I apologize. You cut
No
out.
problem. Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor, there have not.
Then Mr. Scharnhorst, to the offense is charged in the indictment. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State yes?
I wanted to, can I request a PIA by chance?
What is he requesting?
Judge, he wants me to tell him how many more days he has on parole and where parole's gonna interview him, when they're gonna release him. And I told him that nobody has that information. He just has to wait for parole to see if they're gonna interview him here at the Bexar County Jail, or if he's gonna get transferred to TDC for parole review.
All right, Mr. Scharnhorst.
Yes, ma'am.
Now I understand what you're requesting. Here's the situation. I have no jurisdiction over parole whatsoever.
Okay,
So,
that's good.
I have no information to give you. What your attorney has said is true.
Okay,
There's no information that I can give you.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. This misunderstanding.
No problem. If you ever have any questions, just let the court know and we'll stop, because I want to make sure you understand everything. Do you
Yes,
have
ma'am.
any other questions?
So just to reiterate what my attorney said, I am getting credit for those 5 months back time, right? Yes, ma'am.
The court is obligated legally to give you credit for any time that you served. So if you've been in custody, yes, you receive credit for that. Do you have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. Then to the offenses charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea?
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
Any
No
objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Scharnhorst, I'm going to show you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call on the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, we're just asking the court, as the plea agreement states, he has 2 other cases that the state of Texas has taken into consideration. And so we're asking the court to follow the agreement of the 2 years TDC and to give Mr. Scharnhorst credit for time that he's been in custody.
All right, the court will sentence you to 2 years in the prison. Take in consideration County Court Cause number 648306, 2021 CR 0740, no contact with Sharon Ann Witts, affirmative finding of family violence, and give you credit for any time served. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Scharnhorst, I don't know when you're going to be paroled, but if you want to, because I've read the police report, it appears that controlled substances were involved. If you want, I can refer you to the therapeutic community. Being referred to the therapeutic community will not increase your stay at the prison, but it's completely up to you whether or not you want it. Whether or not you receive it will be completely up to the prison.
May I ask what therapeutic community is?
It's to help you with your drug problem, which you obviously have based upon the police report.
Yes, ma'am, I would like that.
All right. Now, the thing about the therapeutic community, all I can do is refer you there. But if you don't ask for it, they definitely will not give it to you. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you a document entitled, yes?
I apologize. I understand that you said I'm not allowed to be primary parent of my child. Do I lose my rights as a whole to my son, or is that just
That's something you'll have to take up with a civil attorney. But what I can tell you is, with an affirmative finding of family violence, a court is not allowed to appoint you as primary custodial parent unless there are some extraordinary circumstances. Now, whether or not you're going to lose custody of your child as far as any type of supervised visitation, this court does not hear that.
I understand.
All right, I'm showing you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Oh, yes, ma'am, I did.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
I do.
And because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, and also because it is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, we'll close the record. Mr. Scharnhorst, when you get out, released from prison or from the Bexar County Jail or on parole, you need to make sure that you get drug treatment. There's free drug treatment everywhere. And you need to remember, don't put your hands on anyone in anger, okay?
I understand, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, good luck to you. Ms. Garza, do you need to speak to your client anymore?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Norman, can you let them know that Mr. Scharnhorst can go back? He's 14A.
Thank you, ma'am. God bless you. You have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and does anyone have an update on Immaterio Hernandez with the Veterans Treatment Court?
Pardon me, may I be excused, or do I leave, or?
No, just stay there. Someone will come and get you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Who is the person who is with Veterans Treatment Court? Can someone have someone from there Zoom in, please? All right, and then the sentencing on Alcaraz. Who is the prosecutor on this? It's a deadly conduct firearm.
Family violence. I do not recall, Your Honor, name, but it's.
All right, who's available for a sentencing on Isaiah Joe Alcaraz?
Judge, it was Laura, so for obvious reasons, somebody will have to substitute.
All right, someone from family violence, have you reviewed the PSI report?
Judge, I have not. Can you give me 1 minute, please, and I'll be ready.
All right, Mr. Kettner, we'll be right with you. The state has to review the PSI report.
We've already reviewed it on our side, Judge. We have no additional.
Okay, thank you. It'll just be a few moments.
No problem. Thank you, Judge.
Laura Zachariah.
Yes, Judge. Good morning.
Good morning. Who are you here for?
I'm here with Bobby on Tommy Bell. If I could just get a breakout room with Tom for a couple minutes so we could discuss something really quick, Judge.
Sure, I'll send you to breakout room number 1.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Sure. And Tom, if you could go to breakout room number 1, please.
Okay.
All right, Frank Sandoval, did you have a chance to speak with Ms. Freeman? Mr. Freeman?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning, and I apologize for appearing distracted. I have another matter to my right.
Oh, no problem.
I'm sorry, let me lower the volume. If I can see how to lower the volume. I did speak with Mr. Freeman, and I had a nice meeting with his prior attorney as well. So if the court would entertain us going forward on the current motion for bond reduction, I would be happy to do so. If the court would like me to confer with the state on seeing if we can reach an agreement on an amount, I would be happy to do so.
All right, let's have you confer with the state.
Okay.
Who from the state is available to confer on Friedman? It's criminal trial division. And Mr. Sandoval, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3, and a prosecutor will meet you there.
I do appreciate it, Your Honor. Thank you, Judge.
No problem.
I'll talk to them, Judge.
All right, thank you. And Oscar Hernandez.
Present.
Yes, what is happening with your client?
Judge, I have a motion to withdraw, and she's been on. We're just waiting your attention.
All right, thank you. Ms. O'Brien, you need to find a place. Are you driving or no?
No, I'm parked.
All right, your attorney wants to withdraw.
Yes, ma'am.
From your case. We're going to go on the record, Brenna. And could I have someone stand in for this motion to withdraw, please? All right, court is calling 2021 CR 0251B, State of Texas versus Rebecca Lynn O'Brien. Could I have the parties announced for the record, please?
Marcus Sanders for the state.
And for the defense?
Oscar Hernandez, movement, Your Honor.
All right, this is a motion to withdraw. We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No objection.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
And are you Miss O'Brien?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're proceeding by video. Do you have any objection, Miss O'Brien, to us proceeding by video?
No, ma'am.
All right, we're hearing a motion to withdraw. Defense, it's your motion. You may proceed.
Your Honor, argument. Well, we believe this is an uncontested motion to withdraw. I was initially retained on 2 felony cases back on September 22, 2020. I have had no in-person communication with my client, and very little phone contact and text contact in between then. She and I did meet at my office last week, and where she's asked, she said I was fired and asked me, so I've now proceeded with a motion to withdraw. She is on the video, so I'd like to ask her the question if she consents, Your Honor.
All right, Miss O'Brien, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand if you can state your name for the record, please.
Rebecca Lynn O'Brien.
All right, defense.
Ms. O'Brien, I have filed a motion to withdraw this week pursuant to our last communication. We met in person. Is that correct?
Correct.
And at that time, when we met in person, you stated that I was fired. Is that correct?
Correct.
and it is your desire that I no longer represent you in this matter, and you are either going to represent yourself or advise the court that you are going to retain counsel.
Correct.
And we've had no court hearings with respect to this case that has just recently been indicted. Is that correct?
Correct.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Is there, Ms. O'Brien, I'm going to grant your client's, your counsel's motion to withdraw. State, do you have any objections to the defense's motion to withdraw?
No, Judge, no objection.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, you're excused. Ms.
Your Honor,
O'Brien? Yes.
I attempted to e-file a proposed order at 6:30 this morning before I drove out here to Hondo, but it was returned to me solely for the fact that they wanted the motion and order to go together. I've since emailed the proposed order to Norma, so there should be a form and order to be signed. Okay.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
Thank you, Judge. Bye-bye.
All right, Ms. O'Brien, how much time do you need to hire an attorney? Or do you
Hopefully
want
within the
one
next couple
appointed?
of weeks. I'm trying to talk to Natasha Torres, see how much she will charge.
Okay, so do you need a court-appointed attorney, or are you going to hire one?
Court appointed.
All right, just give us 1 second. We'll get an attorney for you. We're going to go off the record. All right, everyone, just give me 1 moment, please. All right, we're going to get you attorney. And Colin Hobbs?
Yes, Judge.
I'm going to see if I can invite Maritza in here. My understanding is that she is with family violence now, so let me see.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you for your patience.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Lorraine Efron?
Yes, Judge.
Yes. Who are you here for?
I have Joe De La Cruz. I think it's a bond hearing. And Judge, forgive me. I saw the Zoom invite last night at 6. I might have gotten a notice before then, but I just didn't have it on my calendar. I'm out.
All right. Well, it's a motion to reduce bond.
I don't have my file with me and I'm out of county.
No problem. We can we'll recall it.
Okay.
All right. And so we'll contact you.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
All right. You're welcome.
Okay.
Tom, do you know if Maritza is here?
I can find out.
All right. See if she can zoom in on Immaterial Hernandez. It's regarding BTC. And Miss O'Brien, we're getting a attorney for you. Just give us a moment.
Okay, thank you.
And everyone, I'm going to take a 5-minute break. More like 3 minutes, but I'm just saying 5 to give myself time. Tom, I think I said Maritza's name 3 times and she's here.
And that's crazy fast.
Yes. Ms. Stewart?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with Colin Hobbs. We're looking for an update on the, I guess, his evaluation for Veterans Treatment Court.
Yes, ma'am. My understanding is that he was not accepted, and that was related to Mr. Hobbs.
Okay, he hasn't been accepted. I'll send you all to the breakout room. Breakout room number 1.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Hobbs, I'll send you to number 1.
Thanks, Judge.
And everyone, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Like he looks like those.
All right, so who was the attorney speaking? On Bobby Gibeah's case, Mr. Bell, who was that? Anybody?
Judge, can I see in a breakout room when you get a chance?
Judge, I think it was with Tom. I think Tom did that.
Yeah, it was
All right. Yes, Rebecca, if you want to go to breakout room number 2, I'll meet you in breakout room number 2.
All right, thank you.
And Mr. Sandoval, what is happening with your case?
Your Honor, good morning. We tried, but the state and I were unable to reach an agreement on Mr. Freeman's bond reduction motion. So I once again appear before the court, ready to go forward today on his motion for bond reduction, or
all right,
okay, I can do it at a later time.
If you're ready, do you have any evidence that you want presented? If you want a chance to get any evidence you want to present together, the court could recall it for tomorrow. It's completely up to you.
It would be.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sandoval, I lost you.
Okay, it would be solely argument, Your Honor.
All right, just give me one moment then. All right, Rebecca, if you'll go to breakout room number 2, I'll meet you there.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, Your Honor. I was just saying I just got in a little late. I was in doing on 126. I have Miss Kendra Rigsby, and you very graciously recalled her yesterday. And I have tried and I've emailed, but I haven't heard back. And I don't know if she's logged on. Just reporting back here. I did declare a bond for just. Okay. All right. If you contact her or if she contacts you, give us a call. Okay? Will do. I appreciate it. Thanks. Mr. Sandoval.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. Your Honor, Mr. Flores, on behalf of the state, has conveyed a generous offer, which I would like the opportunity, if Mr. Greer is still online, to speak to Mr. Greer about.
Okay, State, are you all ready on Mr. Isaiah Alcaraz?
Yes, Judge.
All right, to the courtroom, can I have Mr. Alcaraz, please?
Yes, Judge. The most recent?
Okay, yes. Okay, thank you. I'll
And
take
I
it up.
attached whatever.
All right, thank you.
Hey, Judge, real quick.
Yes.
You mind if I go back into a breakout room with Mr. Sandoval?
Sure, I'll send you there. Who wants to go? Who is speaking?
This is Hunter.
All right, Frank, if you go to breakout room number 4, please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 1920W, State of Texas versus Isaiah Joe Alcaraz. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Joe Ray Garcia for the state.
For the defense?
Travis Kettner, Your Honor, we're ready.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state or the defense?
None from state.
Not from the defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, this is not an in-person day for the court, but the court received permission from the administrative judge to have this sentencing in court today. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, according to the plea bargain agreement, your punishment is to be assessed at 10 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. The state is opposing your applications. There's another case that this is to run concurrent with, which is 2020 CR 12197. And the state is taking several cases in consideration. Are there any objections to this report, to the PSI report? State?
None from the state, Your Honor.
Right. Any objections from the defense?
None from the defense, Your Honor.
All right. Can someone explain to me what is happening with cause number 2020 CR 12197? Why is this running concurrent with that cause number? What is that cause number?
Judge,
say the cause number one more time.
2020 CR 12197. Defense, you wanted to say something?
Judge, and I don't have the exact cause numbers in front of me. My client has an aggravated assault and a deadly conduct, which is the ones that he has pled guilty on. And all of the other cases were to be PIC'd, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge. The cause number you just stated is the ag assault with a deadly weapon.
All right. For some reason, the court does not have that file. To the clerks in the back, I do not have cause number 2020 CR 12197. May I have that, please?
Yes, Judge.
All right, then the court is also calling cause number 2020 CR 12197. Could I have parties announced for the record on that cause number, please?
Joe Ray Garcia for the state.
Travis Kettner, Your Honor, for the defense. We're ready.
All right. State you are opposed to the defendant's application. You may proceed.
Judge, we do not have any witnesses. Would you like us to wait for argument?
All right. Defense?
Your Honor, we'd like to call the defendant, Mr. Isaiah Alcaraz, please.
All right. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am. It will be nothing but the truth.
All right, you can lower your hand if you can state your name for the record, please.
Isaiah Joe Alcaraz.
All right, defense.
Mr. Alcaraz, how old are you?
I'm 18.
And how far did you get in school?
I got into 11th grade, then I did homeschool, then I got a high school diploma.
Prior to the incidences that were here today, with whom were you living?
Excuse me?
Who do you live with?
Oh, I live with my grandma and my uncle.
Okay. When you say grandma, you mean Norma Ibarra?
Yes, ma'am.
And
yes,
she's currently in the hospital, is that correct?
Yes, sir. She's been in the hospital almost 5-6 months.
If you were placed on probation, would you continue living with Norma?
Yes, sir. This house arrest I've been on, it been helping me a lot. I've been on it about 6 months. It's been helping me, getting me out of trouble, and probation and outpatient rehab been helping me too.
If you get out, if you're placed on probation, would you go back to live with Norma Ibarra?
Yes, sir.
And if you're ordered as part of the probation to attend counseling as well as drug and alcohol rehabilitation, would you voluntarily do that?
Yes, sir, I will.
Are you here to tell the judge today that you are a drug addict?
Yes, I am.
And an alcoholic?
I'm not really alcoholic, but yes, ma'am, I will.
Does your abuse of alcohol cause you problems in your personal life?
Oh, yes, ma'am. It causes a lot of problems, alcohol.
Now, when you were born, were you born addicted to heroin?
I was born addicted to heroin and meth and cocaine and all of the above.
And when you were born, your mother was actually an inmate at the Bexar County Jail, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize the enormity of all of the problems that you have both today and in your life?
The enormity, like as
how large it is, how many problems you have?
Oh, yes, sir. I had a lot of problems growing up and just in my whole life, period.
And are you asking the court and really the probation department in this case to help you address those problems?
Yes, sir. I'm asking them to help me, counseling, anything. Well,
and you do know that if you're placed on probation, you cannot have any contact, number one, with Margie Ramos, right?
Yes, sir.
And as well as any of the other
Yes,
victims.
sir.
In
I
this
understand all the probation standard.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
State, any questions?
No questions, Judge.
All right, are you going to have any other witnesses, defense?
We are not, Judge.
All right. Mr. Alcaraz,
Yes, ma'am.
let me explain to you what my issue is. All right. You fired a gun into a vehicle. And these are the complainants that were in that vehicle. So you have someone who's 33, 27, a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, an infant, someone who's 50, someone who's 32, someone who's 34, someone who's 26, and someone who's 16. So what were you thinking when you were shooting into that vehicle?
I was really intoxicated. Every time I commit a crime, Your Honor, I'm intoxicated or under the influence.
But I mean, they say that other people who are intoxicated, they say that when you're intoxicated, you wouldn't do what you would normally not do when you were sober.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
So what were you thinking when you were fired into that vehicle?
I was just young. I was just young and dumb and
no, young and dumb is maybe taking a car for a joyride. I mean, there's still no excuse really for that. Young and dumb is not firing a weapon into a vehicle. So again, what were you thinking when you were firing inside of a vehicle and all of these people were in the vehicle?
Really thinking nothing, man, because I was under the influence, so I blacked out. I wasn't really thinking nothing at the moment.
All right, I don't have any other questions. Defense, you said you have no further witnesses?
We don't, Judge, we just have argument.
All right, I'll hear argument.
Your Honor, I think if you look at which I'm sure the court has, if you look at the PSI, I think it's very clear that Mr. Alcaraz is deeply mentally ill. There was several notations in there about how they would like to see him, I think, basically further examined. The other issue is that he is also very young. He's only 18 years old. I don't believe that in this case, a prison would provide him with the type of mental health which he deeply, deeply need. He has also threatened suicide in the past. I do think, I know the court has lots of experience with this. I do think that the probation department has the capability to monitor him. There was a notation in there about having him basically remain on the ankle monitor. And I feel like this doesn't happen very often in my experience, but I do feel like you have a situation where the county and the probation department can step in and provide Mr. Alcaraz with the help that he has never received, both to address the problems that he's caused in his own life and some of the problems that he was born with. And I do think that based on someone who doesn't have any priors, that he is an excellent candidate for probation. We'd be asking for 10 years deferred adjudication probation with all of the conditions that were checked, however many there were, 10 or 15 different conditions that were checked in the PSI. Thank you.
All right, State.
Yes, Judge. Briefly. First of all, Judge, if we look at his PSI, the defendant has had problems with deadly weapons, specifically a firearm. He's been charged with discharge of firearm in the municipality in 2019, unlawful carry of a weapon, and another charge with discharge of firearm municipality that are both been taken into consideration for other things. It's clear that he is dangerous. He is firing off weapons, but this time he took it a step farther. We're lucky that we're not here for a greater offense and that no one was killed, but he continues to show his violent behavior with these deadly weapons. Therefore, the nature of the offense, we are asking for 10 years TDC.
All right, anything else from defense?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and each of the cause numbers, the court will deny your applications, and each of the cause numbers, the court will find you guilty. And in cause number 2020 CR 12197, court will sentence you to 6 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, $1,500 fine, time and money concurrent. It's run concurrent with 2021 CR 1920W. Taking consideration County Court cause number 635935, 645535, night mag number 598707, County Court cause number 653652, affirmative finding of family violence, no contact with Margie Ramos, Adrian Medina, Chelsea Medina, Aubriana Medina, Raleigh Medina, Michael Portales, Maria Escalera, Juan Rios, and there's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. And cause number 2021 CR 1920W. Court is going to sentence you to 6 years in the prison, $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. This is run concurrent with 2020 CR 12197. County Court cause number 653652. Grand jury numbers 724281, 724282, 724283, 724278, 724279. County Court cause numbers 635935, 645535, night mag number 598707. There's to be no contact with Margie Ramos, Adrian, Chelsea, Aubriana, and Raleigh Medina, Michael Portales, Maria Escalera, Juan Rios, and it goes without saying no firearm possessions. And each of the cause numbers, I'm going to show you what's in it titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review those documents with your attorney, and did you understand them, and did you electronically sign them? That's either yes or no.
Yes.
Yes.
because it's a plea bargain agreement in each of these cause numbers, because I followed your plea bargain agreement and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. In 2021 CR 1920W, you're not allowed to possess or own any weapons or ammunition based upon the fact that it's a felony conviction. And cause number 2020 CR 12197, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And because this is an affirmative finding of deadly weapon and affirmative finding of family violence, because it is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and we can go off the record. Mr. Alcaraz, you're 18. I realize you've had a hard life, but at some point, your choices become your own.
My mom's in the hospital. She's halfway dying. I'm not gonna be able to see her.
All right, Mr. Alcaraz, these are things you should have thought about before picking up these cases. All right, with that, you're excused, Mr. Kettner.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Sandoval. And then after this, everyone, we're gonna end up taking a break. Mr. Sandoval?
Yes, Your Honor, good morning. Through the efforts of both myself and the assistant district attorney, we've reached an agreement on a bond for Mr. Freeman, and if the board would entertain it.
Okay, just 1 second. Your Wi-Fi is off, Mr. Sandoval. So, Mr. Morris, what was that agreement?
Yes, Judge. The agreement was to lower the bond to $10,000, be full GPS house arrest with weekly reporting and no driving.
All right, so Mr. Freeman, there's an agreement.
Yes,
and the
ma'am.
agreement is to reduce I need you to mute because there's too much noise coming from your end. The agreement is your bond is to be set at $10,000, full GPS, and no driving. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Can I get my the monitor fee waived also, please, if you don't mind?
I'll ask that they waive GPS fees, but I do not have jurisdiction over that. So I'll ask that they waive GPS fees and also place you on indigent status.
Thank you very much.
For GPS fees.
Thank you.
All right, Norma, on Mr. Freeman, can we get a reset date on him?
Yes, ma'am. On the 20th, Judge, May 20th.
All right, Mr. Sandoval, we'll be back on May 20th. Mr. Freeman, if you're released, you need to report by Zoom or either in person on May 20th at 9 a.m. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Judge.
All right, Brenda, let's put this on the record briefly. Okay. We're going on the record in cause number 2020 CR 10704, State of Texas versus James Freeman. Could I have parties announced for the record, please?
Senator Morris for the state.
For the defense?
Your Honor, good morning. Your Honor, good morning. Frankie Sandoval on behalf of Mr. Freeman.
All right. So you all have reached an agreement on the motion for bond reduction. The agreement is a $10,000 fine, full GPS. There's to be no driving. I will waive the GPS fees and ask that the defendant be placed on indigent status for GPS fees. Mr. Freeman, do you understand that your next court date will be May 20th at 9 a.m.? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. You
need to report either by Zoom or in person at the courtroom. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's 300 De La Rosa, the 4th floor, the 187th District Court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
All right, with that, we'll close the hearing. Norma, can you let them know that 14C can go back?
Yes, ma'am. And Judge, can you put Kelly Hill and his client in a breakout room, Judge? The inmate, Alex Francis, please.
If you all could go to breakout room number 1, please.
Thank you.
And to the clerks in the back, could I have a B page on 2020 CR 10704, please? And Mr. Sandoval, you're excused. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Colin Hobbs. Colin Hobbs. Yes. Thank you. All right, Brenda, we're going to take our break.
Okay, Judge.
So we will come back, I believe at 1:30.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, I'm sorry. I was talking to my client in the background, but I saw Maritza talking. Is it okay if we come back at 1:30?
Yes.
Perfect. Thanks, Judge.
And everyone, I'm going to stop the video. Everyone enjoy your lunch.